Hi, it's Deb from Project Life Deb's Way again. I've just got another layout for you to have a look at that I've completed, and it's a continuation of last fortnight's video of our holiday, but this one was more up in Broome, which is quite a tropical part of Australia. So I've used sort of like a beachy theme, which of course you can transfer to a beach theme or whatever you would like. And with this layout, I've included 2 flat pages and also a secret journaling folder at the back. So it's got quite a lot of extras in this. And as I said, I've used the Simple Stories Coastal Vintage collection, and as you can tell with this one, it does have a few flat pages, and I've also included in this a little, see if I can get this out, a little folder which goes into the back where you can put either your tickets or all your journaling spots and things. So I'll show you how to do that as well. And on the second sheet, I have also included another flap page and how to actually insert that into your folder and how you actually slit your plastic folders. So that's what the layout will be that we will be doing in this tutorial. So I hope you enjoy on how I do my layouts, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment because I do like to read your comments and etc. So let's get on with the fun. Here we have a sneak peek of the layout that we will be making with all my photographs and everything included. I must admit, when I made the cards, I actually used cream cardstock, but found that my photographs just sort of muted in with everything. So I've actually put them onto black cardstock instead. And as you can tell, the photographs do pop that little bit more. And in this, I actually have the tutorial on how to make this flat page here. And there is also a flat page up the top here as well. So there's 2 flat pages come with this particular layout, and both of them are a different way of doing flaps. So let's get on with the tutorial. This is just a quick video which I'm going to include in the tutorial on how you can actually put your flaps in. Now, as you can see, this one was from the previous layout I did, but it was the part of the trip that was after Broome. So now I'm doing the Broome bit, and as you can tell, the opening for the page that I need the flap is on the other side. So what you have to do here is you actually put your card into your layout folder, like so, your base card, like so. Now this is the flap that needs to be attached. Now if you were here, you could actually do your flap this way. It would just attach on the back of your card like so, and you'd have your flap, and you would make your flap to where your opening is, so you wouldn't have to cut your file. But with this one, we are going to have to cut to actually put our flap in like so. So what we have to do here is we have to slice in. Now because I'm having to cut, and I don't want to cut the full width, otherwise everything will fall out, we are going to slice and then do a little triangle like so. Now all you have to do is take this second card out from the back so that you can do your sticking. So we'll just slip this one out like so. Now what you have to do is just get your Stanley knife and just slice very gently into it. Now how I do that is I put my card where it needs to go, and I know where I have to slice from to actually fit the card in. And then what we do is once you have slit that, lift up both cards, put your tape onto the tab. Make sure it's well stuck down and take your tape like so. And then take your tape off and slide underneath and position your card where you want it. Now also make sure that you're just underneath the fold, because if you put it right up to the fold, it won't fold properly. And attach it down, and there we have your flap. Then all you see, this is where your flap is at the back, so then all you have to do is slide the back card in, and there you have your flap opening. And as I said, nothing will fall out. And on the first page, here is the flap card, which of course, because your folders have the opening at the top, it's really, really easy to just insert your card like so, and you end up with a nice flap card there. I will attach that down because it gets a lot of handling, so you don't want anything that can rip and etc. Now because this was a holiday spread, I decided I needed some more journaling spots, but I'm going to hide it, so I will do a hidden file folder in the back of this. So here is the card, and I want the hidden file folder to go into the back, so we'll take this card out. Now what I've cut is a piece of any card, 7 by 4.5, and you need to score these cards 1/2 inch. So we'll just do our scoring. I'll just score that. If you haven't got a scoreboard, just use your cutting and use the little tiny strip that's in your cutting. Now this one, I'm going to do 1/2 inch and just a tiny bit down, so that it will sit just slightly lower than the card. So there we have our folds, and I use a very lightweight card for this. So then just fold your folds to get the paper memory going. Now what I tend to do here is these little corners I cut out. Just get rid of them. Now it's really important when you do your folding that this one goes up first. So when you put your folder in, it attaches here, because if you do it, you do it over the top. So you fold these in first, like so, and then fold that one over the top, and it gets attached, so that when you put your little file folder in, it will just slide in and not catch. Whereas if you do it the other way, like so, it will catch on your join here and it won't go in smoothly. So what we do now is we just need to attach these little corners with some tape. And make sure your card's actually in. So what I've done here, I have cut a card here which is 7 3/4, so it is 1/4 inch off of the 8. And the reason being is I want it a little bit lower than my card in here, because when it slides in. Now I did leave a flap here for my pull, but I am going to use these. So I'm going to cut that piece off. Because you do need a little pull tab. Like so. And because these are quite thick card, they're good little tabs. So all we have to do now is turn our card over so that the top is at the top, and attach our little flap piece there by just applying glue, and make sure you don't get any of that tape showing on your fold, like so, because if you do, it will attach to the card and it won't run smoothly. So then just pop this just a fraction below the top. And center it. So you shouldn't actually see any of your mechanics. And then your little file folder, which you can put all your story and tickets. You could put tickets in there, anything that you want. You just pop that into the back, and there it is there. And it's just a little secret hidey hole. You can even put more photographs in. So when it goes in, like so, card stays in, and you can pull your little file folder out with all your information. It's just a nice way that you can actually put your journaling and it's hidden, and your flap. So there we have a little hidden file folder. This is the collection that I will be using this time for my layout. It is by Simple Stories, and it's called the Simple Vintage Coastal. I did buy very cheaply the ephemera pack, but I don't know whether I'll be using any of it, but we shall see. The papers comes with a sticker sheet in the paper pack, which you can actually use a lot of this for your layouts. I also did buy the sticker sheet that comes with it, because they're absolutely fantastic, because they have lots of frames and lots of things that you can use on this, which in actual fact replaces the ephemera pack, and I personally think it is better value for money than the ephemera pack. So these are a really good purchase. The theme with this has sort of very blues with the red flowers. It has quite a lot of papers that you can use. So I'll just give you a preview of the papers. See, I would never use this type of sheet, but this one I can use bits off of. Now, Simple Story always comes with your 3x4s. Oh, it has another wood tone. 3x4s, 4x4s, little squares, and also your 6x4s. But you can actually use these for cutting your bits out, and lots of things that you can do with that. So that's the collection I will be using. I have decided with this that white is too stark with it, so I'm going for the ivory tone, which is like a winter white, because it's a lot softer. So that's the papers and the theme that I'll be using. I will be doing it as a travel theme, but as I said, you can just turn that into either a beach theme or anything that you want. So let's get on with making our cards. Before we start making our cards, I've had a lot of questions concerning the type of folders that I use to put my layouts in. I actually use the Project Life plastic sleeve system, which has your pockets in. So you have your pockets here and your pockets here with your openings, and you just fill them up with the cards that you've made. And here is a diagram from some of the packs that I've bought to actually give you a good view of the type of folders that I tend to use. You can get them in all different sizes, but if you only have the plastic folders that are the 12 by 12s, what you can do is get yourself just a plain sheet of white paper, say for instance like this, and then you would attach your cards in the system that you would like so, and then you'd put your 3 by 4s like so, and you'd fill the whole page up. Then that slots into your 12 by 12. But if you are doing it that way, make sure you put them on separate sheets of paper so you have the two pieces separate. So that's what I tend to do with my layouts once I've finished all my cards and put my journaling and everything else in place, and then they go into my 3D albums. Now for our first card, I have got the piece with the flamingo, and this piece here was from the paper with the pink on the back, and I cut a piece that was 5.5 by 3.5. I edged it and I've stuck it down to give me that border. This piece here I have cut from the 3 by 4 cut apart sheet when it's right up in the top corner, and I just cut that out, and where it came flush with the edge, I'm just going to stick that down onto my sheet so that it attaches. Obviously did not put enough tape on, so I'm just going to reattach that with a bit more tape. There we go. And these little bits here, I'll just put a bit of the liquid glue just to get them to stick, because I didn't put enough tape on. Now, while we're talking about taping, just a little hint, I always buy very good tapes. I never buy my tapes from the cheapo shops or things like Kmart's or anything like that, because if you want your projects to last so you can pass them down to your children or whatever, these tapes, once they attach, they take normally about 24 hours to really stick down fast, but once they're stuck, they will not move off your project. So down the track, you will never ever pull your albums out and all your stuff falls off of your cards and that. So that's a little hint, is to always use good tapes, be there rollers or whatever, because the tapes are really different to the cheap tapes. Same as your glues. If you just use a glue stick, everything will just fall off within about 6 months. Whereas if you use a really good gel glue for your like metals and harder flowers, and same as your aqua glue here, I like the Tombow, it really will pass the test of time. And I did change my ink colour to the peeled paint, and because this one here was an older one that I bought, it's run out, I can't use it anymore, it's virtually throw it into the bin. Whereas at least with these, they do come with re-inkers, so I just re-ink it, and I've had this pad at least 8 years now, and it's still as good as the day I brought it. So we'll carry on with this card. I have used some of the ephemera flowers, but you should be able to find cutout if you didn't have the ephemera pack. Just use some of the cutouts on the cards that you have. And we're just going to attach that underneath, like so. I've got a couple of other ones I want to just sort of put one underneath and one on top, just to get a bit of layering. And this one here, I think I will use some foam tape. I've just got some, I found some of these little squares, so I use these up to get rid of them. So we just put this on foam tape to give me a bit of and because there was a lot of white space here, I've decided to use one of the pieces of Amphoria, but I've actually cut all the white bits out. And because this is so fiddly, this is where your liquid glue comes in. We'll just use a little piece and bring that down to the side like so. And there is our first card finished, and this is one of the eye candy cards that I tend to do, that you can actually put your labels and things on for what your layout is, or the year, or anything else like that. Now for our next card, I am going to do a very quick and easy flat card to give me more photo opportunities, so it gives me an extra 2 spots plus a journaling spot. So this is the bottom card, and this will be a part of the flat card. So we'll make the bottom card first, which is what I've done. I've got a 3x4 photo mat, and I've just chopped the top off by 1/4 inch and chopped off 1/4 inch so that my photo can go this way. So we'll put that down first. Which will give me that nice little border there. Now these came off of the sticker sheets, and as you can tell, I've just cut them round, so they came off of this one here, which is the banner cardstock sticker sheet. So you just cut what you want from there, and they do have great strips, but I don't want the pineapple, so I got from the sticker sheet one of these, which I will just pop over that banana there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, but keep this piece of paper because you will need that, and take off bits that you don't need. Now I am going to stick the sticker just here, and I also have one of these sticker sheets that came with the pack, have these amazing stickers down the bottom, which I've used quite a few of. So that's where all of the tickets and those sort of things have come from. So I'll just take that off of its sticker sheet. So don't lay this down yet, because I want to be able to stick those down where I need it. Now I don't want to stick this part down, so just pop a piece of that paper underneath, so when you get your photograph you can actually take that off and stick it to your photograph. It's a little cheeky way of doing things. And then get the flower. Now I'm a bit of a, I didn't do it on the other one, but I do hate having that white around my flowers, so I'm quickly going to cut that off. The few minutes that you spend cutting it off really does make a difference. And then put the flower over the top of the pineapple, and there you go, you wouldn't even know. And then you can do a small journaling spot here, which I've got my little journaling cards here. So we'll just get one out that suits, because I've got some circles. I think a circle one would be nice. So these are all the odd bits that I have left over from other kits, and I just pop them up into a journaling, and then we can stick it there. So that's how you can actually keep all your bits and bobs. I tend to put them into containers, and then when I want them, just lift that up a bit more. And then I think I would like another little flower, so I'm just going to cut from one of those just sort of mold it to how I want it. And then I will just get my Stanley knife, take the backing sheet off, and then I will cut this piece off here, and there is our base card. Now, as you know, with these plastic sleeves, I always tend to do my flat pockets at the top, or if the sheet, you have to be a bit careful when you're doing flats. This one could go down the bottom because there is a flap at the bottom. But if you had the page this way, there is no flaps. So I always do from the top, because if you flat pocket, you've always got openings at the top on your plastic sheet. So for the fold, I have just folded a piece of cardboard of the paper that matches and just cut it just a smidging off the end. And then you put your card just underneath the fold line. And the reason for that is so that your top will fold down nicely onto your card. So there is the flat that the other two cards will go onto. So here we have our one that goes underneath. So we will put this card together. Once again, you need to cut around these ephemera pieces to get rid of the white. Here's our underneath of our fold page, and the card that I used for my 6x4 is the one with the boats and things on. So I've got my 3x4 photo mat here, so I'm going to stick that down. Like so. Now here I got from my ephemera pack, and I've cut the white bits off, which is a bottom flower. I wanted a bit of greenery, so I just cut one of the pineapples off the bottom and used the greenery there, and I have got one of the tickets. So we'll place our first piece down the bottom. Then I wanted the greenery. I'm not a keen person that likes yellows in my themes. So then we'll make sure we've got our stamp. And then just over the top of that, we'll just pop our other flower. Going up the card like. And I think we'll just look for a word here. I've got going places, and I'm just going to chop the end off. Like so. And then I'm going to stick one of these stickers here. And I've used a few of these just at the top. So I'm just going to place that at the top, just to fill in that little spot there. And just find a small suitable word that I like. Take off a bit more. Like so. And you'll see it just adds that little bit to the card that looked a bit empty. So there is our next card finished there. So now we'll do the other card, which is this one. Now this was one of the cards, this one here for the 4x4. So what I did is I just chopped it down and made it fit. So the measurement for that is 3 3/4 by 3 inches. And as you can tell, that card came from the 4x4 pieces where this card came from. So we are just going, what I did then is I just cut this piece here so that when I put my card in it will slot underneath. So we'll attach this to our card, and I've edged it in green around here, but not this piece. So we're going to pop that down, and that will just give you that nice little border. And this piece will go under your photo mat like so, and lift your photo mat up so it's just at the bottom of that photo mat. Then attach your photo mat down like so. So here are our two cards. Now what you have to remember is this one has to flip up. So put that down like so. So then we get the card that we had finished. So here's the card that we finished. So I've got my tape. I need my tape either side of here. And I'm putting a thicker tape there to give it the support that it needs. So this is for the top card of your flap, which will go here. So we'll take this tape off and attach our card just below where the fold is, so that it folds nicely over the top. Then we will get our tape and really well tape these down, because this will get a lot more handling because it's not in a plastic folder, so it does need that support of the extra tape. So take the tape off. And take this top tape off. Okay, now very quickly check your card that this is going the correct way when you fold your card, otherwise you will have it upside down. And attach that card exactly over the other card, like so. And then get your bone folder and just give the whole thing a good squish, and then your card will sit beautiful and flat. Now if you have got any pieces hanging over, just double check and cut them to fit. And there we have a fantastic fold card with your extra photographs there. Now probably here being a bit bare, I'm going to put one of those little tag pieces in. Like so. And find a word that suits. Because we've used a lot of the paradise, I'm going to use that. You could also type up some words on your computer and do it that way as well, and just personalize your words to what you want. So there we have, it's just filled in that corner and it matches the little tags that we have. So there is that top flap finished. Now we venture onto our right hand side of the layout, and this is the top left hand corner I will be doing. Now this card here is 3 3/4 by 3 1/2, and that is so that will fit up into the top to just give you that boost of colour at the top of the page here. Then I have cut a strip of some of the wood grain to go down the bottom here, like so. This here came from the 6 by 4 cut apart sheet, and I've just cut the item out, and that is going to go at the bottom here, like so. And then I have got the frame, which I got from the sticker sheet, will go up the top here, and I've got a piece of paper with Sun and Fun, which came from this frame. So that's what the card is going to be. So we will now just pop it all together. I have edged this card with the green ink as normal to make it pop off of the page. So we're going to put that sort of a third down the page. Then we are going to use the wood grain stripe, which I'd give a quick ink. And pop that in the middle of the bit that's left, like so. Now the frame is from the sticker sheet, so it's already sticky, so just peel your backing off. If you haven't got a frame, just go for your stash or print yourself one up from the internet. Is always an option. And I've stuck that down now, and then I will get my little Sun and Fun and put that in the middle of the frame. Now with this one here, I'm just going to glue that in. Just put some glue on that. Okay, so then work out where your frame needs to go. I think we need it up the top a bit more. So we'll take the tape off and put our frame. Now I'm lining my frame line up so there are lined up lines here, and then I'm going to stick that down like so. I'm just having a look for another word that I can possibly use. I think I like this one. Because it matches the words up the top there. And it was just a bit plain, there wasn't enough on that card. So there is our first card, very, very quickly and easily finished. Now we'll start the bottom left-hand corner, and this one is one of the cards that you get from your cut-apart sheet, which is the one that's here with your cut-apart sheet on this sheet here, which is the 4x6, so it makes a very easy card. From the sticker pack, I cut out one of these from the one with all the pegs on from this sheet here, and it came from here, and I cut off the pegs and I've just cut it out. I also took from that sticker sheet inside it by the beach as well. Now I am going to put a 3x4 photo frame on here, but it really doesn't pop out enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick that down onto some of the pink card here, which brings out the tonings of the pink of the flowers. Now what I tend to do with this is I just eyeball it, stick it down, and then I will cut a little border. Is the easiest way of getting tight borders, because that way your card sits nice and flat. And there we have there, and you will see once you pop that on, it just makes that photo mat actually come off of the paper a little bit. So what we are going to do now is we are going to stick that down. Like so, and just leave the border all the same way round, and then we will lift that off. Oh, it's really stuck. No, we won't. Okay, so now the sticker sheet, we will take off the backing. Now we will sort of put that where the other one was. Like so. Now if you have a bit too much going on, cut it off and just stick your piece of paper underneath so that when you put your photograph on, it isn't stuck down. Like so. So just leave your pieces of paper in there, and you'll find it works really, really well. And then I'm going to put a little word. So then we just chop off the excess that you don't need, and there is a very simple card. If you didn't have this, you could actually cut around the picture that was actually on the card and just slide the card underneath, and that would work as well. So there we have an easy card. Now we're going to do the next 6x4, which is on the bottom of the page. And what I have done, I've cut a 6x4 with the pink mappy paper that has the green with the big palm tree. I've cut some of that beautiful wood grain. I love wood grain because you can do so many beautiful things like strips and things. So I'm going to pop that, and I've just edged it a bit with the green into the middle of that card just to give a bit more texture. Now with this one I'm going to do a bit different. Once again I have done a photo mat upwards to give me more portrait photographs, and this little photo mat was your 3x4, 3, and then I cut it down 1/4 inch off of the 4 so that it would actually fit onto the page. So if you have a photograph, you would just take a little bit off of your photo there to make that fit. So what I've got here is one of the pink cards, which is a 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, and then I cut out of the word print a 4x3, which will just fit in the middle, and I've edged around the edge of that. So we will attach this so we have our border. And once again, this is all about making things lift off of the page so they don't all just go, yeah, like melted ice cream. So we are going to put this over to one side, sort of just into the middle of that sheet. Now our photo mat is going to go just a little bit in from this here by just the same amount of the border, so it's all equal. So we will attach that down, and towards the end I will give you a diagram. I may actually do the video before we start making the cards of the size of all the photo mats I've used, so that you can just cut your photo mats out ready if you're using this as a template. And I got a sticker from the sticker sheet, and I'm going to just quickly edge that in the green. And I'm going to pop that underneath on a slant, and don't press it down, and I'll take out that center circle. Now I've got one of those tickets again. I'm going to lift that card up so I can get the ticket in. And I'm going to move that slightly under and down so that there's no holes inside here, and just pop that on like that. I got one of these little stickers off the sticker sheet, which I'm going to stick just above here, and underneath, and I've got the word favourite. So I'm going to peel off the backing, then I'm going to cut the word down shorter, and just pop that there. So there we have that card finished. And always remember that your cards don't have to be that decorated, because don't forget you will have your photograph in this spot here, and that's what you're supposed to be looking at, is your photographs. And as I said, you can actually put journaling spots in any places you want, or you could put a journaling spot on top of this tag, or write what the photograph is anywhere on these layouts. Now we go on to our 3x4 portrait cards, and as you know, I normally have 2 photo mats on these and 2 sort of eye candy type things, but I want a nice journaling spot here on this one. So all I've got is, this was a from the 3x4 cut apart sheet, including this one was a 3x4, and I've just cut the note paper out here, which I will put towards one side. Now I will be edging that in green just to make it pop out a little bit more than what it does, like so. This came off of the sticker sheet here, like so. So what we will do is we'll just stick this one quickly down. And I'll put the smaller tape to the top. Pop this up as close as you can get to the edge to give you a nice writing room. And then I'm going to pop this here like so, and just cut off that. And this actually really suits my theme, because we were at Broome near Cable Beach, so it's sort of I can explain exactly where we were with all the details and the date. With this one here, this once again was from the 3x4 cut apart sheet, and I've just cut the tree out. I just got an extra one of these flowers here, and I also from the sticker sheet got the destination tag, which I'll put on. So all we need to do with this one, and this card came from the one with all the boats on, so it's a nice and easy card, and it's so spludgy, and because I'm covering a lot of that up and the writing goes all different ways, I can get away with that not being exactly correct with its writings. So we just take the tape off of this, and I'm going to stick that slightly across, like so. I'm just going to put an extra flower at the bottom, like so. Then this destination, just give it a bit of edging. And I'm going to pop that on like so. And there is a very, very easy way of doing a card. Like so. And I can actually put here, I will put the description of what we were doing, and on this card I will put Broome and the date, which you'll see when I finish this layout, what it will look like in the finished photographs. Now with this one here, this was a 4x3 cut apart sheet again, so I'm just going to cover that up because I don't really want a deck chair on, but I like the wood grain because it matches what I've used, and the wood grain's going the right way. So I'm just going to attach my 3x4, just cut down 1/4 of an inch either side to give me my 1/8 of an inch all around the edge there. And then with this card here, I cut once again a little card. This is the 3x4 cut apart sheet, and then this is 3 1/4 by 4 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And so I just want a second border with this one. So we're just going to lay this down. And there we have that. And then our photo mat is 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. So you would just cut your photograph down so you've got a tiny little border to show for that. And there we have our 4 cards ready to go. So that is one full side of your layout finished. Now we venture onto our right hand side of the layout, and this is the top left hand corner I will be doing. Now this card here is 3 3/4 by 3 1/2, and that is so that will fit up into the top to just give you that boost of colour at the top of the page here. Then I have cut a strip of some of the wood grain to go down the bottom here, like so. This here came from the 6 by 4 cut apart sheet, and I've just cut the item out, and that is going to go at the bottom here, like so. And then I have got the frame, which I got from the sticker sheet, will go up the top here, and I've got a piece of paper with Sun and Fun, which came from this frame. So that's what the card is going to be. So we will now just pop it all together. I have edged this card with the green ink as normal to make it pop off of the page. So we're going to put that sort of a third down the page. Then we are going to use the wood grain stripe, which I'd give a quick ink. And pop that in the middle of the bit that's left, like so. Now the frame is from the sticker sheet, so it's already sticky, so just peel your backing off. If you haven't got a frame, just go for your stash or print yourself one up from the internet. Is always an option. And I've stuck that down now. And then I will get my little Sun and Fun and put that in the middle of the frame. Now with this one here, I'm just going to glue that in. We'll just put some glue on that. Okay, so then work out where your frame needs to go. I think we need it up the top a bit more. So we'll take the tape off. Put our frame. Now I'm lining my frame line up so there are lined up lines here. And then I'm going to stick that down like so. This one. Because it matches the words up the top there. and it was just a bit plain. There wasn't enough on that card. So there is our first card, very, very quickly and easily finished. Now this card here came from the 4x4 cut apart sheet, but I really like the spludgy sheet that was on the back, so I have used that. I have used the pink card here, and that was cut to 3.5 by 4.5. So we're just going to lay that down. Now I won't green this because I need that to be really pink. Now make sure you've got the words running the right way, like I nearly didn't. So we'll attach that down. Now this one here is the one with all the print on the back, and it is 4.25 by 3.25. As you can tell, I'm going down 1/4 inch on both sides to give us that nice border, but I will edge this one in some of the green. And then I have my 3x4 photo mat. Like so. Now from the sticker sheets, I got this nice sticker piece, and I am going to stick it down the bottom here, like so. And once again, if it goes onto your photo mat, just pop a piece of that paper behind so it doesn't stick onto your photo mat. And then once your photo goes in, you can stick it down. So we'll just chop off the bits we don't need, and there we have a quick and easy card done. This card here is a very simple one too. This came off of one of the sticker sheets which had extras on it, but I just wanted the bow with Let's Explore on there, so I have virtually just cut that off. I used part of the ephemera pack, which I've cut some flowers from for it, and a piece of the wood grain here. It's a very easy card to do. So all we need to do now is pop the wood grain down the bottom. But first of all, we'll put our photo mat. Now this photo mat is slightly larger. I've done 4.25 by 3.25 so that your true photograph size can fit on it. So we're just going to put that up the top, and then down the bottom, in the middle of that, I will put my wood grain to give me a bit of extra texture. And then we will attach our leaf with Let's Explore here with a couple of the flowers. So I'll just set this up. And there we have our card. So now we just need to stick some glue on the bottom of this. I don't want it on the top because I want to be able to get my photograph underneath. If I wanted to attach it later, I would actually attach it. And then we'll just put our couple of florals in. Now I've made a mistake with this one. I want this card and it's really hard to get off once you've stuck it, particularly when the tape's gone. I want this card a little bit lower. So we'll just replace that and take that a little bit lower than I had before. And because I glued that, I can move the leaf down. There we go. Now we'll take the sticky off the back of the sticker. Now I did try and do this with a Stanley knife and it didn't work very well. So I'm just going to snip that a bit with my scissors. And then, oh, that's better. Now let's pop that down the bottom. And then I will cut the end of that off. Now up the top here, the reason why I moved that was because I wanted we'll take the sticker off of this. And cut your happy days once your sticker's off because it's easier to handle. And that ties in with the other ones, and you can still get your photograph in. And then just cut off your excess like so. Now this last card is going to be a flat card. So I've done my 6x4 on the 4x4 cut apart sheet, and then I've cut some of the green, which was 2 3/4 by 5.5. Now this needs to be the size of my flap piece so that the flap piece actually covers, because I want it different size to the underlying card. So there we have our flap. I have a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 photo mat, which we are going to stick down, and we put that up the top. Like that. And then I've got a few flowers which I've got from my Euphoria pack, which I want just down the bottom like so. So we will attach those like so. Now I may even just cut some of this to just give a little bit of greenery to the card there. Okay, so there basically is our little card done for the base. Now we'll go on to doing the fold. Now the fold for this card is very simple. All it is a piece of paper cut from 8 to 5 3/4, and when you fold it, you need a 1/2 inch here for the flap, so that the actual card is just slightly smaller than the card that you are doing. Now there is a reason for this. So we will join this card up together. Like so. So just fold it over so that you've got that flap. Now that there you need to fold over and just give it and do it both ways. That will give you your flap of whichever way you're going to attach this card to be. So what we do with this, I have cut a piece of card from the wood grain, which is 7 1/4 by 5. So what you need to do with this now is put tape both sides and down, and make sure you put a lot of tape on, because this will take a lot of punishment. Now what you do with this is you need to put this piece of card on your other card and wrap it and put it into the position that you want, which is there, and just hold it down. Then underneath you need to slide this in and measure it to just over where your card finishes. Making sure it's nice and straight, and then attach your card with the fold piece over the card. And as you can see, that lines up with the edge of my card because that is the attachment mechanism. And just make sure that everything lines up. It is a bit tricky. And as you can see, this card is just slightly shorter, so that when you fold this over, you get a step in the card. And there we have our flat piece, which will be attached when we put it all together. So what I have done for this, I have cut a card which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, so that our photo mat, which is a 3 by 4, and once again make sure you stick it on all sides and pop that onto your pink piece, and repeat with the one for the back. Okay, so now what you will do is you will put this down into the bottom corner of your piece of paper. Once again, make sure that you have taped all the bits. So you want that to line up with your card here. Like so. Then I am going to put tag here, which I will cut out that peg. Okay, that goes up the top here. And we don't want that sticking. So we'll pop our piece of paper in. Now I've got a nice little flower I want to put separate. Like so. Now I have got a nice paradise here, but as you can see, it won't fit there. So I think I'll put it down the bottom. And I'm going to snip to make it fit. And that's going in the bottom like so. So there is our first flap. So now we need to just repeat the same thing with the other side. This one, I'll take it down to the bottom. I have got another one of those, this view. So that will go up the top. And I think I'm going to leave that plain because there's the flowers down here, but I might also put another one of those bits of foliage up there. But the first thing I may do is just quickly take off. I find sometimes with these pieces, particularly simple stories, they have a lot of white on their pieces. And there we have our flat page done for the extra photographs. I'm still not happy with that paradise. Okay, I think we'll make some alterations here because I really would like that up the top there. I'll just move this flower here. I'm just going to cut this flower down so it's a wee bit smaller than what it is. That looks better. Yeah. And there we have, that looks better, our flat card. So that is our full 6x4 cards, and now we get on to the 3x4s. Okay, here we are with our 3x4s. So I've just cut this, taken a 1/8 of an inch off of 2 sides to give us a tiny little border all the way round. So we'll just attach that as normal. We have got our like so. And then with this one, I just used one of the cutouts so I could get the pink, because I didn't have enough pink left over. I'd used it all, so I thought, well, this will do. So I've done with the wood grain, I've turned it over to give me my green border. We will attach the cut down 3x4, attach our photo mat, which is 2.5 by 3.5, to give us those 2 borders. So there's our 2 photo cards done. So now we'll do the other card, which is this one. The one is 3x4 with the boats on there. I have then got this sheet here, and I've just cut a bit of the map out the top, which will go, and that size is 3.5 by 2.5, and we will edge that. Just need to reload a bit. Not too much, otherwise you'll get it too dark. I only want a light coloration around the edge. So we'll attach that in the middle of our card, like so. And I have got this one from the sticker sheet. I'll just take all the bits off, and I am going to stick that sort of with the doily bit just like that. And then I'm going to put, I found this in the ephemera, so we will just stick that up like that. I have got one of the green stamps. So I'm just going to pop that in like that. And this flower came from the ephemera pack. So once again, I'm going to quickly just cut all that yucky white off. I said fussy cutting, and remember when you're fussy cutting to turn your paper and just line your scissors up. You'll find you'll do your fussy cutting a lot quicker. And your hands won't get as tired. So put a bit of green on that. There we go. Now I just want my flower down in the bottom. Like so, and then we will just cut off our 5. So there is one of our 3x4 picture cards. Now this one here, this was cut from the sticker sheet and it had pegs on there, so I've just cut all the pegs off and I have just used this. I also have the wood grain piece, which is a 3x4, and I have cut a 2.5 by 2 3/4 square, so it just fits over like that, and we will just edge that in the green. Now we'll just attach that down to our 3x4, and then this beautiful piece, won't stick it in the middle. Never stick anything in the middle because it just looks out of place. Like so. And we'll just chop that leaf off. And I think we just put a little bit of that greenery in. Top there. Just to finish that off. And I think there could be a little bit of greenery here. So I'm going to go and so we'll quickly cut like we did before. And that will just finish that off nicely. So I will give you a sneak peek of all the cards now they're finished, what they'll look like with no photographs, to give you an idea of the layout. Here we have a sneak peek of the layout that we will be making with all my photographs and everything included. I must admit, when I made the cards, I actually used cream cardstock, but found that my photographs just sort of muted in with everything. So I've actually put them onto black cardstock instead, and as you can tell, the photographs do pop that little bit more. And in this, I actually have the tutorial on how to make this flat page here, and there is also a flat page up the top here as well. So there's two flat pages come with this particular layout, and both of them are a different way of doing flaps.